Hey y'all, welcome to Vlogmas day 4. Today I'm going to do something a little different than I had planned. But I've gotten so many questions and comments about my postpartum journey, pretty much what people call the 4th trimester. And I thought that we would make a video during Vlogmas all about that, and this one might be short and sweet, or it might be lengthy. I don't know. We're gonna see how I feel, and we're gonna see how long Mila decides that she wants to nap for. But there are some key things that I want to hit on. One of those being, you guys are so sweet, and I love all of your wonderful compliments that you're paying me. Every time you see me in a video, you're talking about how I'm glowing, how the snatch back is real, or the snap back, how I'm snapped back, I don't know. While I do really love and appreciate all of those comments because they make your girl feel real good about herself, I do think that those comments can also make other people that are reading them feel bad. Those that might have put on more weight during pregnancy, and maybe they were slower to drop the weight after baby. So I know that seeing that might make you a little discouraged. So I wanted to make this video to let you know, pretty much I'm going to give you, for those of you that have been asking, like exact numbers on things and how I got through postpartum and how was it for me. I have told our birth story, and I have went into like my breastfeeding journey, but as far as like going in depth on postpartum stuff, I haven't really done that. There were some things that happened that I was not expecting at all. And while majority of my postpartum journey has been fantastic, there were some low moments, and I wanted to open up about that here on today's video. So, keeping things totally transparent, I have on my favorite pre-baby jeans. Now, if y'all know me, y'all know I love me some American Eagle jeans. They are my absolute favorite. They have some stretch in them because your girl is thick. Been thick since birth. Don't know nothing else but thickness. And I feel like my daughter will be the same. If you can't tell, little homie is almost 12 pounds. And she will be 11 weeks old this weekend. So, she's almost like the pounds of her weekage. If that makes any sense. Anyway, these are my favorite pre-baby jeans. And I don't know exactly how long I wore them for until I stopped wearing them. I tried to get away with wearing non-maternity stuff as long as I could. But I still cannot comfortably wear these jeans. And like I said, I will be 11 weeks postpartum this weekend. It is Monday. And I can button them and zip them. But notice how I said comfortably. Because what I have been left with is what they call the mom pouch. And I know it could be worse, but I will tell you, seeing these stretch marks, because for the longest time I did not have stretch marks. Now, did I think that I would get them? Absolutely, because I've had stretch marks my entire life, and I have them on my sides. I don't know if you can see them all that well, but because they are genetic. And I have them on my thighs, on my hips. I mean, I have them pretty much almost everywhere. I don't have any on my chest or on my arms, but they predominantly reside in my thighs and hips area. So I felt like I would get some on my stomach, but I had went so long through my pregnancy and didn't get any at all. And I was applying rosehip oil, which I still apply it there and on my face because it's magical. But stretch marks are genetic, and it doesn't matter what you do. If you are bound to get them, you will get them. And I think around that, it was like late 3rd trimester was when they started popping, and I was just like, it was like I had 1, and then I'd go to sleep, and the next morning there were 2, and then it just kept popping up. I only had like 2 or 3, and then it seemed like right there, that last week before I got ready to have her, all of these popped up. And they look better now than they did. Am I self-conscious about them? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I do stop and look at myself in the mirror in our bathroom, and I just kind of look and touch myself, and just, it doesn't feel the same. And then I'm reminded, like, wow, like your body is strong. Like you created and housed a human. The Lord thought enough of you to allow you to brew a little baby, you know? Like, so I try to snap back really quick and not go to that dark place, because it's easy to get there. And if you struggle with that, know that you're in my prayers. And it is a tough journey to go through when you're used to seeing your body a certain way and then all of a sudden you're left with this. So I will say, after birth, I only gained 13 pounds while being pregnant. And I did keep up with everything on my phone. So I'm going to give you like a detailed idea about when I gained that weight and when I lost it and all of that. But I will say that like right after birth, I was super soft. Like all of this was super soft. Like I just felt like the Pillsbury Dough girl, and I felt like that for a little while. I just was like just so squishy. I'm still not tight, but was I ever, you know, like did I really ever have abs to worry about missing those? I've never really had abs. Even at my slimmest moment, I was just really flat, no abs. Of course, still had all this going on, but I was still very squishy, and I am still on the pudgier side. And obviously leggings and joggers are my best friend. They were before I got pregnant. I do want to start being more active, and if you've been following me since before I was pregnant, then you know that I had started working out more. I was watching what I ate somewhat. I was more so working out more and just being more active, and that's what made a huge difference for me. And then I got pregnant and that all stopped. But anyway, let's get into some numbers so I can share with you like a roundabout of weight and time. So I track my weight on the Pregnancy Plus app, and that's also where I track the baby, everything baby related. I use the Pregnancy Plus app. I felt like this app was the easiest for me to use and to track everything on. Here was my weight on the chart. You can tell there was no big like spikes or falls or anything. I did struggle with morning sickness for the first half. A little bit longer than the first half of my pregnancy. I did start taking Diclegis, and I don't remember exactly when. I started taking it pretty early on, and I struggled with it for a while. I think I finally was able. One of my favorite things ever to eat in life is chicken of any kind, and I could not eat chicken for nothing. I finally could eat chicken at like 22 weeks, and that was a chicken wing. It was a struggle. It was such a struggle, and I couldn't do grilled chicken. I had to do fried chicken. Like, it was a texture thing. Everything that I drank except for water left the most horrible taste in my mouth. Everything. And if I would drink something, I would have to chase it with water so that it wouldn't leave that taste in my mouth. I'm just like thinking back to it, and it's just like, it wasn't a metal taste. It was almost like an acidic taste. I don't know, but I'd like to say that that was one reason that I feel like I didn't gain a whole lot of weight, because I really wasn't eating all that often. I ate what was necessary and not much more. There were a few times in the middle of the night that I would get up to go pee, because trust me, that's all I did was drink lots and lots of water and pee a lot. I was always peeing in the bathroom, everywhere, anybody's house. I would visit their bathroom like 10 times in the amount of time we were there. So, and obviously I still drink a lot of water because I'm breastfeeding. I feel like drinking all that water and not eating an excessive amount maybe was what helped me not gain so much weight. I don't know. But like I said, I was sick for the majority of the times. I did not start putting on weight until later on in the pregnancy. So I started off my pregnancy journey at 178 pounds. And I can't believe I'm saying that on the internet. I was 168 pounds in December. I'm going to show y'all a photo of what my stomach and I guess my abdomen area look like. That is like my smallest part on my body, but I was 168 in December, and I got pregnant in January, and by that February the 8, 9, 10, the 11th, I think. Sometime in December, I was 168 pounds. And by February the 11th, I got pregnant in January. And by February 11th, that was like my first official, I went to the doctor. I found out I was pregnant on the 8th and made an appointment for the 11th. I was 178 pounds. Where those 10 pounds came from, maybe they come from Disney World, because we did go to Disney World and all the holidays. I don't know, but that was 10 pounds. So I started off at 178. And I lost 4 pounds by the 25th of February. I'm not going to even try to do the math of how many days that was that I lost that amount of weight. And then by March 27th, I went back up to 179. So it only says that I gained a pound, I guess, because they're not calculating what I lost or whatever. So, and then I dropped back down to 176 in April. Then I went back up to 179 in April. So now I'm just going to give you, I guess, my biggest weight in each month leading up to having Mila. So by May 24th, I was 183. By June 24th, I was 187.5. Then by July, I was 188, so I gained 0.5 pounds. And then August, let's see, my heaviest in August was August 8th, which was 189.8. And then September, my biggest was 192.8. And then by October 4th, which was my last doctor's appointment before I had her, because I had her 3 a.m. October 5th. So October 4th, I was 191. So that was a total of 13 pounds from the very beginning. Now, I was the person that at the end of pregnancy, I just felt miserable. I have a short torso, and all of that weight, even though it was 13 pounds, it all sat right here in the front. I really didn't gain much weight anywhere else. It was just all in my bump area, and that put so much strain on my back, and I was just ready for that extra weight to be gone and for me to get to hold my baby. I was ready, okay? So I was like, how quickly am I going to drop this weight? Because I knew just by giving birth, obviously you're going to drop weight just like that. And we weren't really sure how much our baby was going to weigh. We kind of got like a roundabout idea of like 5 or 6 pounds. And then we were told that could be a pound up or a pound down. So we didn't really know what to expect. She ended up being 6 pounds and 14.8 ounces. So automatically that was 6 pounds from me. But I did Google it. I'm like, how much can you lose just by giving birth? And it was like 10 to 12 pounds, because you got to think about your placenta, I guess the fluids, and your baby weight and all of that. So I did keep track of my weight loss after I had her. So like I said, I was 191 pounds on the 4th of October, and then by the 10th of October I was 176 pounds. Then by October 19th, I was 172.6, and the last one that I have on here is October 29th, and I was 172.2. I say that to say this: my weight has stuck in those 170s because I am breastfeeding. I can go weigh myself 5 times in one day, and I will get a huge range of weights. And I attribute that to breast milk, because I guess that stuff's heavy. I don't know, but I have tried to not weigh myself and not focus on that, and just try my best to be as healthy and drink all the water that I possibly can. I'm trying to make sure there's oats in my diet so that I'm making as much milk as I possibly can for my baby. My goal right now is to not focus so much on my body and my weight. I told myself that once I reached that 6 months postpartum, I would go back to trying to figure things out fitness wise, what felt comfortable to me. I don't want to just jump in and hurt myself, because my body's definitely not the same that it was before, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same. I am not the same. I am a mama now to a beautiful, smart, strong little girl that I'm so excited that I get to be the one to raise her. And that means more than a few stretch marks on my belly. You know what I mean? So while it is a little disheartening to look at yourself and you don't look the same, I know I'm not the same, and I don't think that I would ever want to go back to that person before I had Millie. So while I know it's a hard transition to make, it's been a good transition. And as mentioned in the beginning, there were some things that were lows. I don't know if I've shared this or not. I can't remember, because hello, new mama brain. But after I had her, I did get an epidural, and I don't think I mentioned this in my birth story, so I want to mention it here. I almost busted my tail in that hospital, because I had the epidural, and they take the catheter out, and they want to go in there with you when you take your first pee-pee. And I will say it did not hurt. I had seen some people talking about how that first time going to the bathroom was extremely painful. It was not painful for me at all. What was so bad, and it might not have been painful because my mind was somewhere else, because on my way to the bathroom, the nurse was assisting me going into the bathroom, which I had the best nurses ever in the world, and I know everybody says that, but I really did have the best nurses. She was helping me to the bathroom, and I'm trying to get the feeling back in my legs, and I had like a pad or a towel or something between my legs that was catching anything that was leaking, and she was like, well, we need to get rid of that before you sit down. And she was holding my arms, so I couldn't reach down there and, you know, take it away. So she was like, just open your legs and it'll fall to the floor. She was going to move it away, blah, blah, blah. But when I went to open my legs, I kind of bent my knees and my legs went out. Y'all, I was going down like, and this was a little itty bitty nurse. I didn't hit the floor because I kind of caught myself. There was like a rail in the bathroom and I think I propped my arm up on that and she had my other arm and I got down and Cody's like on the other side of the door. He's like, what happened? Are you okay? And I'm just like, I cannot believe I just did that. I was like this close. And then, y'all know how hard it was to get back up? Oh, I think of trolls. Get back up again. So hard to get back up off the floor. And I wasn't even on the floor, but it was just because I was like this far off the ground. So anyway, there was that. But I had like I kept saying I have a pain in my bottom. Like it didn't feel like it was in the V, but I felt like it was more towards the B. So every time they were like, how are you doing? I'm just like, I'm fine. I'm just a little sore in my bottom. So it was just like, I felt like I was walking like an old lady going to check the mailbox every time I get up and walk. And I walked as much as I possibly could. I would walk the floor that we were on, trying to stay as mobile as I could, because the more I sat in that bed, y'all, the worse I felt. So I was trying to not be in that bed as much as possible. So I was trying to be on the move. I got like 1 stitch, and it was healed at my 4-week appointment. I stopped bleeding 2 weeks postpartum. My period came back 6 weeks postpartum, and I think my period came back. We'll know here in a few days if it comes back again. That means that definitely was my period. My doctor was thinking maybe it weren't, but it was a full-blown period to me. So I don't know. We're going to see if I have another one. But mine did come back 6 weeks, and that's essentially breastfeeding. But I did read that if you go 6 hours without feeding, and there were some nights that she did sleep a solid 6+ hours, and I wasn't pumping or anything, unless I was like extremely engorged and painful, I wasn't. So they say if you go longer than 6 hours, it's like a signal to your body, like, okay, she's done. We don't, you know, she can get her period back now. But something that I wasn't prepared for, I was prepared for all this other stuff. I was taking that after ease pain medicine because they were talking about contractions after. I didn't have that, unless maybe it just wasn't as bad. Maybe my pain tolerance was higher than I thought it was. When they would come in and rub my belly, that really wasn't all that bad. But what was bad was when I got home, and I think it was 2 days after, I started having gas pains. And they were so bad. They were to the point that I thought that maybe, like, it was back at like contraction pain, really like curling your body up in a ball, crying. It was bad. Like, it was so bad, and you could just feel it sort of traveling, and it would just get to a point and I would hurt so bad that I would just sort of like knot up and I would just start crying. And when it was really bad was in the middle of the night. My gosh, it was so bad. And I would try to walk to the bathroom just to go sit on the toilet for some relief, because I seemed to couldn't sit anywhere else that my bottom was touching. So that at least the toilet had, you know, the opening, so I wasn't completely just sitting on something. It was so bad. Like, we called our nurse line with our insurance and she didn't tell me jack. Like, she didn't help me at all. I think I was taking Gas-X pills, but literally I was in here on the floor crying, and my mama was still here because it was during that 2 weeks that she was with us helping take care of Mila. She was in there with Mila. Cody's in here with me. He's almost in tears. He's like, we're never doing this again. And I'm like, it's worth it. I mean, in that moment I'm thinking, is it? Is it really worth it? Because y'all, it was so bad. I don't even remember my contractions being that bad, but that was bad, and I was not prepared for that. So I want you to be prepared if you are about to go in labor, just in case it happens to you. I don't know if that happens to everybody, but I was not prepared for that. Other than that, I think my milk came in. That wasn't too bad. I did have sort of a milk duct clog situation on my left side. My left side is the more producing side, and I did have like a little knot there, and all I did was apply heat to it and massaged it and fed her. That was the best thing for you to do, is you have to empty it. That's what it is. It's clogged because there's too much in it. So I massaged it and applied heat and fed her until it was emptied out and there was no more of a knot. And that was really the only issues that I had, was that whole gas situation. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I think it was longer than what I expected it was going to be, but maybe I answered your questions. I am not so much worried about snapping back or being snatched. That is the least of my worries right now. I am just worried about making sure that I am keeping my baby happy and healthy and fed, and all the things that are good for her, and just helping her thrive the best she can. and being there for my husband, and my husband being there for me, and all the things. So we're just working on our little family dynamic over here. I'm not worried about my fat. But I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions or any concerns, or maybe you want to start up a conversation, down below in the comments, I highly suggest that you do that. I would love for us to start this little community and have each other's backs when it comes to this postpartum 4th trimester life that we got going on. I feel like we need that strong sisterhood so that we can go forward and conquer. But anyway, thank y'all for joining on today's Vlogmas. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.